Hello everyone, I'm Mr. Furlong, and today we're talking incomplete dominance. Up until this point, we've talked about alleles that are either dominant or recessive. But the truth is, not all alleles are either dominant or recessive. And that's what these next couple of videos are going to be talking about. This first one is on incomplete dominance. So here's a case where the genes are not completely dominant over one another. And so in other words, what happens is if you get two of these dominant alleles together, we get a blending of the traits. So for instance, red in flower color is a dominant trait. White is also a dominant trait. When you put the red and the white together, you get a pink flower. So you can see there's a blending of those two phenotypes together then. So let's do an example of this. Let's cross a red flower with a white flower. And then we'll look at the genotypic and the phenotypic ratios. All right, so let's take a look at a couple things here. First of all, we're using a capital R to represent the red, because it's a dominant trait, and we're using a capital W to represent the white because that is also a dominant trait. It's just when they get together, we have a blending of those two. So we're crossing a red plant with a white plant. So just like in the past, we separate the two alleles. Doesn't matter which one goes on the top or which one goes on the side. And we show all the different possible combinations. So as you can see in this example, all four possibilities come up as pink. So the genotypic ratio is going to be 4:0, or we could reduce that 1:0. I don't care which one you want to put. And the phenotypic ratio, we have 1, 2, 3, 4 pinks and 0 of any other color. And so that would be 4:0, or again, we can reduce that to 1:0. So pretty simple. Well, let's take a look at another example. What if we cross two pink flowers? What's the chance of having pink flowers? So we'd have two pink flowers. That's going to be RW crossed with a RW. Right, so we take the two alleles, separate them of one individual, take the two alleles, separate them, and now we show all the different possible combinations. So there's a red, there's a pink, there's a pink, and there's a white. So the question is, what's the chance of having pink flowers? So of the four possibilities, we have a 50% chance of having pink flowers. Another way of saying this is if we had a whole field of flowers where the original parents were pink, about 50% of them would be pink, 25% of the flowers would be red, 25% would be white. So in humans, an example of incomplete dominance is hair. Straight hair is dominant, curly hair is dominant. When you combine the straight and the curly hair alleles, you get a wavy hair. Now, sometimes it might be more straight than curly, might be more curly than straight, but it's somewhere in between. So you're going to be doing a couple of these types of crosses for practice, and if you have any questions, just let me know.